Hey, what's up, Visionaries? Welcome back to the Arc Vision Fam Jam. My name is Anton. Hopefully all of you guys are having a fantastic day because today's support squad request comes from Trish, and this is, again, Citizen Soldier. So Gage and Trish are, I believe, the Citizen Soldier fans on the channel. Or the ones that are requesting Citizen Soldier. And this is Would Anyone Care? And I loved the last one we did, and so I'm excited to check more out of these guys. I think that was English. But anyway, before we get into this one, I do want to say you guys rock. Thank you for all the love. Also, if you guys want to support the channel at the same time, request songs, albums, and get exclusive access to uncut full album reactions, definitely join everyone in the supporter squad on the Patreon for the price of a large pizza. And yeah, that's what funds the entire channel. So if you want to help out and get some awesome perks at the same time, definitely do that. And of course, shout out to my supporters. I love you guys. Also to anybody, if you guys want to DM me, get a hold of me, whatever. And the entire Arc Vision community. We're on Discord. Find us there. Link down below is for free. I intermittently check Instagram, not very often. So if you don't get a hold of me there, I'm not ignoring you. I just don't check it often. And yeah, other than that, links down below to my podcast and to official merch as well if you're interested. And that's it. So let's get into Citizen Soldier. Would Anyone Care? They write very emotional songs, like I already tell. He has a great voice.
If tonight I disappeared, would anyone chase me and say the words that I need to hear? That I'm no burden, not so worthless, bent so much that I just might break. All consuming, so confusing, the questions that keep me awake. Would anyone care? Would anyone cry if I finally stepped off of this ledge tonight? Would anything change? Would you all be just fine? 'Cause I need a reason to not throw the fight. It just might save my life. Would anyone want me?
So you notice I went like this, right? Because I was expecting the classic, you start off with the piano or the acoustic guitar, and then you get into like the chorus, and then you bring out the power chords, you bring out the drum. And when the band didn't come in full force, I was really taken back. I was like, this is interesting. I'm not expecting this. I think though, if I could guess, I think in the second chorus they're gonna add the band, or maybe they're going to save it for the bridge, or they're literally not going to come in. And this is just a very haunting, emotional song. Because in some respect, I don't know, I think maybe in some respect it fits the lyrics better if you just keep it very solemn, very quiet. Because I definitely think when you don't have so much going on, the lyrics and the vocals hit you harder. Harder doesn't necessarily mean like, because for example, if they brought in the whole band, that's usually when you get like goosebumps and you just go whoa. But in that moment, it takes you out of the song, it takes you out of the lyrics. So you might emotionally feel a upswelling, but the lyrics start to take the back seat. So when they don't come in, it maintains all of the focus on the lyrics. And like when I'm reading this, like it's very yeah, it's very painful, you know. Obviously this singer has been through a lot of darkness, and a lot of challenges with self-worth. I'm not even gonna say issues, because I don't think it's like, I think they're challenges. Yeah, it's just that reframing kind of thing. We'll talk about that later. Anyway, let's get back into this. This is oddly enough kind of breaking my expectations all the time, because even like the first time I thought it was going to go into the chorus, and it didn't. There was like a second kind of pre-chorus, and so yeah, let's get into it.
inside my head. Would anyone see me?
Like the cello.
For the person that I really am. I won't lie, so hard to hide. I've never felt worthy of love. I would give up everything I have just to feel good enough. Would anyone care? Would anyone cry if I finally stepped off of this ledge tonight? Would anything change? Would you all be just fine? 'Cause I need a reason to not throw the fight. It just might save my life. If you die inside, sick of being alive, let me in, let me share in your pain. From my lungs through the dark, spoken straight from the heart. Let me give you a reason to stay. If you're out there still lying awake, if
Love
you're
the stuff
out
going on.
there still wondering, would anyone care? Would anyone cry if you finally gave up and turned out the light? The world would be changed if you left it behind. You can't be replaced, no, tonight is the night you take back your life. Take back your life. Take back your life. Take back your life.
Okay, so this was a very yeah, it never went the direction I was expecting. Very, very interesting. Yeah, great song. These guys are fantastic songwriters. Like all of the layers are impressive too. Like my favorite part of the entire song was the bridge, hands down. I loved when they added the cellos and they added some of the more percussive aspects to it, and just the change of melody. Not the change of melody, just the bridge melody. I really, 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 really loved it. But I did. And yeah, these guys are very cutting. I think I said it in what was the last song called? If I Surrender. I think it was called I Surrender, If I Surrender. But yeah, man, these guys are really real. Very cutting. I find they hit in a way that is unique. In that a lot of people they polish their lyrics. In some respects, it's almost like they hold back a bit. They try not to make it too painful to listen to. Where I find Souls and Soldier goes the opposite. They maybe not the opposite, but they just write what they feel. Or at least he writes what he feels. I think he's the main lyricist. And yeah, it's very cutting. And it's just very human. You know, I feel that. Yeah, I've felt this way for sure. Probably the last time. I think the last time I would have used these words. I definitely would have used these words in high school. 100%. High school is really rough. University, I went through a really dark time in my second year of university. Yeah, I think I might have used some of these words too. And then when I went through like my really kind of like suicidal phase, I wouldn't have used these words. It was a different kind of thing. I felt lost. I felt like the future I had envisioned for myself I couldn't find. So it wasn't necessarily like I felt like no one cared about me. I was going through some issues with my mom and my family in general at that point. It was really heavy. So I definitely would have felt this way with my sister and my brother. 100%. Would have felt this way with my father, and my mother is a bit different. I was just really moody. I was just very lost and angry and sad and frustrated, and a lot of trauma was coming out and stuff, and a lot of like kind of nervous system stuff was going on. Um, yeah, but yeah, like I think the last time I would have used these words was university, my second year of university, and definitely in high school, for sure. And yeah, I think if everyone really gets down to it, if everyone really looks inside and reflects, I think everybody's dealing with an issue of feeling unworthy of love. Um, Yeah, I definitely feel like really deep down. Like on the surface I'm good, and even on the surface I think I'm good. Even, there's a lot of surfaces, there's a lot of layers where I'm good. And then but I think like if you really crack down to like my heart, like deep down to like the base of my traumas, I definitely think I not even struggle. Because it's not really a struggle, it's more just like I definitely know I feel this way because there's certain moments where my armor is suddenly just gone. I don't know why. It might be an emotional song, an emotional speech, listening to an interview with someone who just I feel like understands my archetype, like what I've been through, or just a very loving. Like anytime I come across really loving people, it just brings me to tears because I don't feel that level of love. I've never like growing up. Um, I always say like I love my mom is amazing. I love my mom. She's my mom's like my best friend. But it's like growing up though. And I told her this actually a couple weeks ago. Because we had a movie night, and I went to her place, and I told her I was like, man, I just made a video, and it occurred to me I've been lying to myself and lying to you for a long time, because my sister, she often tells my mom like, oh, I never felt loved by you and you were a terrible mom and all this kind of stuff. So I think growing up I always need to take the opposite approach. I need to be like, mom, I love you, you're the best mom ever. You were as perfect as a mother as you could have been, and that's true. I do believe that. But one thing I told her is like, yeah, I never really felt like I never felt safe or like warm growing up. My mom loved me, and she was my mom was like very energetic and passionate, and in some sense like kind of like a lot of masculine energy. And where my father's actually, believe it or not, I think the warmer one. But with all his trauma and stuff he's been through, he wasn't able to provide that. So like I just never kind of felt safe and warm and nurtured growing up. It was very cold in some sense. And I told her that, and like luckily my mom and I, we have like an incredible relationship, an incredible friendship, and she's like, oh man, I get that, yeah. And we were actually kind of going back, and she was like, oh, do you think it was like because when you were growing up I wasn't able to be around because I was starting my business, and so you had kind of like a nanny who, and we kind of like actually like dived into my psychology when I was a child, the circumstances of my life and maybe where that came from. And yeah, I've always kind of had a bit of a fear of abandonment, like really deep down. And yeah, so deep down it kind of, I think, drives everything I do. In some sense, I need to feel worthy of love so I can find the partner I want in my life, and then have the kids I want. Like I don't see that with kids. Like I that's unconditional. That's more me loving them. I don't expect love from my children. Um, but definitely like and then my friendships are a lot better. I don't really feel unworthy of love with my friendships. It's more like romantic relationships, and like mentors and parental figures, and maybe even friendships deep down. I might be a bit afraid, like I might be afraid that I'm not enough. I likely am. Because I don't think I can separate that from all of the other. I think it's just like I just don't feel like I'm enough, and therefore all of the facets in my life would have that same effect. They'd have that same kind of feeling of deficiency, and Yeah, it's interesting, and it brings me to tears when I come across very loving people, because like I go, wow, like, you know, because it takes a strength to just unconditionally love. Like it takes a great strength. Like I admire those kinds of people, like like those kind of like shaman elders, those archetypes, like almost like native indigenous people. Yeah, elders. I'm very kind of brought to that right now in my life. That feeling of kind of unconditional love, because yeah, I never felt like love was very conditional growing up. Not so much with my mom. Again, she kind of like yeah, yeah, for the most part. But then even then, there was a scare I had with my mom 2 years ago, where I felt like if I ever fell from grace, she wouldn't love me anymore. So actually, never mind. I never felt unconditionally loved ever, because we had so much turmoil and abuse in our family growing up. I don't like my mom wasn't able to be in a position to unconditionally love because she was hurting so much. She was so terrified and angry and frustrated and all this stuff and uneasy. And so it was not it was not a nurturing environment. It was not an environment where love could prosper and flourish. So it was cold. It was icy. It was guarded. Everyone was defensive. You know what I mean? But anyway, yeah, really enjoyed this one. Thank you, Trish. And what are your top 3 favorite Citizen Soldier songs? Let me know in the comment section down below. And if you guys enjoyed the video, definitely give it a like and give it a slick comment if you want, just like RK, whatever you want. Just helps with the YouTube algorithm. So if you want to help out, definitely do that. And that's it. So I'll see all of you guys again tomorrow. I love you. Peace.